This is Comfortably Numb. Kind of like maybe this was my theme song. Ready? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. So, it's Sunday, and it's Groundhog Day. 6 more weeks of winter. We've all seen the movie with Bill Murray. What a classic. I've seen it at least a dozen times. Love the movie. Amazing. And I'm glad they didn't explain it, right? You had to repeat the day over and over and over, and then one day, So, there were theories of why this was happening to him, Bill Murray, the movie. But it was good that they didn't explain it. I love that movie. That was such a special movie. I'll be doing a thing on that, Mike at the Movies. Again, as I explained earlier, people who followed me over the years, I used to have a blog called What Do We Think? And I did movie reviews. It was Mike at the Movies, and I loved it. I'm doing some videos now. I have about a dozen that you could get on my channel. And it's just not the same. I have to worry about copyright. Every time I show a clip, I get yanked. And it's challenging, very challenging, but I love it. I love movies. I'm a film buff, film aficionado. And anyway, I digress. It is Groundhog Day. I started this channel last year in July. So it's been about 6 months, a little over 6 months. And it's Tabor Talk, right? A play off Table Talk, informal. Just the guy talking, speaking his mind, as if, having a cup of coffee and talking. Like, hey, I saw a movie last night, and then so that's what this all is about. And I cover so many topics. So one of the criticisms of this channel is like, Mike, how many categories do you have? You talk about MMA, you talk about politics, you talk about movies, you talk about religion, your near-death experience, on and on. It's like, yeah, I'm a person, and I'm talking. Just talking, I hope it's intelligent. It's basically off the top of my head what's going on. I don't have a script. I don't even have an outline. That's Tabor Talk. So, okay. Getting right into this, I can't wait till the winter's over and I could go back out on my deck here, right? On my porch, and have a long deck here. And that's where Tabor Talk started. And it's a wood bench, and you could see on my channel the wood there. That's a play on that. I don't have to explain this, but there you go. That's the whole idea. Okay, so I just finished up listening to Joe Rogan's last 2 podcasts. One with Neil Davis, I think that was on Thursday, and then Mark Norman was Friday. I know Joe tapes him now. He used to do it live. Now he tapes and throws it up. I don't want to get into why he does it. There are reasons. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the quality of the show. For me, it doesn't matter if it's live or not. Even this is kind of live. I don't edit it or anything. I just tape it, throw it up on YouTube, and see what it looks like. All right. That's basically what Joe does. So anyway, Neil Davis, he's the guy who's converted all these KKK members. It's really interesting. He's a heavyset black man. I think he's 61 years old now. Just a real deep voice, and he's a musician. It's a great story. He's a great guy about racism and his experience with racism as a child. He's 10 years old, and adults, these KKK white supremacists were throwing rocks at him. But anyway, he's a great guy, and he has actually converted scores of people, scores of KKK members. It's incredible. There's a documentary on Netflix, I believe, and he's been on NPR. Neil Davis, check it out. Okay, Mark Norman, I'm a fan. I'm telling you. This is the second time Mark Norman has been on Joe Rogan. And I actually did a videotape when he was first on, like 4 months ago. And I liked him a lot, but I was kind of playing on his affectation. He has a voice like this. Hey, J-Mo, go to the goo. Come on. He kind of has this going on, an affectation. And I was a little critical of it. I liked him anyway. I thought he was clever and funny and talented. But he had this going on. But you know what? I wasn't sure about it the first time I saw it. Listening to this podcast now, I like it. I think it works for him. Yes, it's an affectation. but it's great. And I'm telling you, he's an interesting guy. And I don't know if many people know about him. And God bless Joe. Joe can make or break you, right? Joe has 6 million more than that, 7-8 million followers. You know, each episode he gets millions of people watching it. Overall, he's had like 1 billion downloads. It's insane. #1 podcast. So he can make or break you. If Joe likes you, puts you on your podcast, he could fucking make or break you. It's incredible, that power. So anyway, I digress, as I always do. So Mark Norman, I think the podcast is like 2.5 hours. I enjoyed the shit out of that. I'm telling you, I never had such a good time. I love all Joe's podcasts. It's just so fun. But man, this Mark Norman is interesting. He's all up on the topics of the day, and his jokes are off color. Really interesting guy. I've not seen his stand-up. And Netflix, they were talking about it. Netflix will not pick up his stand-up. He wanted to get a special, but no. But Joe says he's going to post it on YouTube. I'm going to check it out. But conversationally, Mark Norman is awesome. I love you, Mark. And I'm going to follow him on Twitter. Mark Norman on Joe Rogan. How about that? A little over 5 minutes talking about Groundhog Day, how this Tabor Talk channel started, and Mark Norman, and a little bit about Neil Davis. Okay, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk. The winter's almost over.